All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the show. I'm your host, Daniel Cody, giving you commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Before I get started, I want to thank all the viewers. Thank you guys for all the thumbs up you've been giving, and I really appreciate the feedback that you have been giving on the channels. Everyone that has been giving feedback, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. For those of you who are new, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get started with today's review of Friday Night Smackdown with the opening of the Bloodline. Yes, the Bloodline. Coming out to the ring, opening up the show with the Usos and Paul Heyman speaking for Roman. Never thought I'd hear Paul Heyman speaking against Brock Lesnar, but there's a first time for everything. But technically, this isn't the first time, considering the fact that Paul Heyman has turned on Brock Lesnar before. Survivor Series 2002 ring a bell? But either way, nonetheless, they opened up the show and we got a surprise appearance from Big E Langston, who is the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And of course, in response, Roman Reigns sarcastically put on social media, wise choice. We all know what that meant. But either way, after Big E came out, Finn Balor followed afterwards, and we got ourselves an amazing tag team match between the Usos and, of course, Finn Balor and Big E Langston. And of course, the match was great. I especially loved the ending where Big E had one of the guys, and Finn Balor went for the coup de grace for the win. 1, 2, 3. Big E pinned, I believe, Jimmy Uso, while Finn Balor went for the finishing coup de grace, however you say it, on Jey Uso. That moment kind of reminded me of a segment that took place in 1999, where on the end of the Raw broadcast, after a huge brawl between Big Show, Undertaker, Kane, The Rock, Triple H, Stone Cold, Billy Gunn, everybody was out fighting right around the same time. And Monday Night Raw ended with Triple H pedigreeing Road Dogg while Stone Cold stunned Billy Gunn, and it happened in the same motion. That moment reminded me of that, and it was awesome. Also, moving on, we had ourselves a segment backstage with Paul Heyman and Big Show. I'm going to tell you guys something. When Roman said, "Is there something you want to tell me?" That is a meme you get when you come home after misbehaving in school and you didn't know your mother found out or your parents found out. You're like, that's the look that everyone gives. We all heard it. Hey, man, what's up? Is something you want to tell me? Oh, shoot, she knows. But either way, that's what it reminded me of. And it's a bit of a Jerry Springer-like situation because of the angle with him and Brock Lesnar and him and Roman Reigns. And to make matters worse, Paul Heyman continues to get startled by the lovely Caleb Rexon, and I really enjoy. I honestly thought that that it wasn't going to be the same with Big E winning the championship. I didn't know he was going to be on SmackDown tonight because he won Raw's championship, but thankfully he was. So the fun could continue with them stalking and startling Paul Heyman. I love when she startles Paul Heyman. Lucky guy. He comes out, Paul, would you please stop doing that? I enjoy it every time. I don't know about you guys, but I enjoy watching Kayla startle Paul Heyman like that. It's funny. And then after Paul Heyman goes ballistic over his annoyance for it, behind him is Big E Langston. And I didn't think we were going to get that on SmackDown. I thought I was going to miss it, but we got some more of it. Unfortunately, the fun was ruined by the Usos, who attacked Big E Langston from behind, ambushing him. But thankfully, Big E has a chance for revenge because the New Day, the full New Day, is now officially united. Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods, who has yet to win a major championship, but I believe he can, against the Bloodline. It is going to be an amazing 6-man tag match. A match that I will have to see in full. Not highlights, in full. So, But I can't wait to see that match live on Monday Night Raw. Moving forth, let's talk about some other interesting news. We have Rick Boogs versus Bobby Roode in a very short match that ended with Rick Boogs getting his signature power slam in for the win. Pat McAfee had a little fun, and I always love seeing Pat McAfee have fun with Shinsuke and them. But sometimes I wonder, would the fun end because no one wins all the time? Unfortunately, this was one of the nights where the fun was cut short as Aziz and Apollo Crews attacked Shinsuke and Rick Boogs. And Apollo Crews, who does a great job at his accent, by the way, Nigerian accent, by the way, challenged Shinsuke for a rematch. Sorry about that. That will happen next week on Friday Night Smackdown. I apologize. So, I don't think Shinsuke is an embarrassment to the title. I just think he brings a little more fun to the title. But speaking of embarrassments or whatnot, I will say this. I want to ask you guys something. Let me know what you think. Do you think that Bobby Roode, or Robert Roode as he used to be called in TNA, do you think Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler are being watered down? Because as much as we love to cheer for the faces, if you're a pro face guy, they are seeming to get a little bit watered down lately. I mean, Bobby Roode is a former NXT champion. And of course, Dolph Ziggler, we all know his history. And then they watered him down with his crybaby, it should have been me angle. But either way, I don't know. Speaking of watered down, that reminds me of the very powerful statement made by Mick Foley about how some of the characters, they leave NXT or do whatever and they get watered down a little bit, which is probably why Adam Cole decided to go to AEW instead of go on the main roster, because he was afraid of what happened to Karrion Kross, what happened to him. Kind of like how Sting was afraid to go to WWE because of how WWE treated Booker T with The Rock's famous, "Who in the blue heck are you?" But either way, I don't blame him. But speaking of moving, Kevin Owens was here tonight. I thought he was going to leave. Rumor has it that he was going to leave for AEW. His contract was up, but he's still here. We need to keep our best guys. We only got so many good guys left. And the ones that should have been released are still being watered down, like Dominic Dijakovic and Mace and them. I done had this conversation with you guys. For those of you who have been here since day one, I done told this story about how I felt about Retribution and T-Bar and Dijakovic Angle. I done talked about that too many times. My tongue gets tired of it. But either way, moving forward, Baron Corbin was set to face off against Kevin Owens. But of course, Kevin Owens came in and ambushed Kevin Owens, I'm sorry, my tongue is getting mixed up. Kevin Owens was supposed to face Baron Corbin, but Baron attacked Kevin Owens, making everything very short. So that went nowhere. But I'll tell you what did get interesting was Seth coming out with a suit made out of aluminum foil. And what was more hilarious was when Pat McAfee said Seth Rollins, he called Seth Rollins Tin Man because he doesn't have a heart. Not only does he look like aluminum foil, but he doesn't have a heart, which makes this even more funny. And of course, every time Seth Rollins comes out, his suits, legend has it that every suit that Seth Rollins owns glows in the dark. So when it's nighttime and you can't see in the dark, his suit is a flashlight. His whole suit is a flashlight. But either way, he came out and explained his actions, and he tried to play all, well, I did what I did, and I know it was kind of hard to see, and I just have one question to ask you. What did you think was going to happen? Come on, I saw that coming. I saw that whole thing coming. I knew when he was playing that that was kind of hard to watch. I know that was disturbing, and he tries to play the psychopath that doesn't know what he's doing. The ones that always have to plead insanity when they know they wrong. But either way, he comes out and he plays that soft act, but I knew he was faking it. I knew he was going to get to the real point. And he did. But apparently, this angle is not over, and Edge is not the only one being driven to dark places. I enjoyed the Roode, but now Seth has gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I thought he lost it when he started acting like he was Jesus, but when he called himself the Monday Night Messiah. But this is much more chilling. But that was a pretty chilling promo. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was chilling. Very chilling promo. Moving on. A tag team match that, in my opinion, should have happened last week, considering that Vega is from New York City, or should I say Queens, New York. It was a match between Vega and the self-professed most beautiful woman in the world, blah, 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 versus, let me make sure I got their names right, Toni Storm and Liv Morgan, a match that was also short that ended when we all thought Carmella broke her nose. And I thought her nose was bleeding because you know how people act. It was like, this is not a beauty contest, okay? If I wanted to see women act cute, I can go to Instagram. I don't go to Instagram, I'm just saying. Either way, the match was very short and sweet because Carmella got herself counted out and we didn't get to see a lot of them. And that would not have been a good thing to see in front of Vega's hometown crowd last week. And of course, it was 9/11, so we all know that she was severely affected, so thoughts and prayers to her at the time. However, that was silly. Liv Morgan challenged Carmella to a match at Extreme Rules and said, I'm going to make you look as hideous outside as you do hideous inside. And let's be honest, it's kind of a scenario. People don't just cheer you because you look good. If that were the case, Trish Stratus would have never been a heel. But yes, you can look good outside and be evil, hideous inside. Delilah and Samson ever ring a bell? Either way, that's going to be interesting. I hope Liv Morgan wins, but at the same time, I know Corey does not want to see his girlfriend or wife or whatever title they have in a losing streak, so we don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. It's great to see Toni Storm being used because keep in mind, she needs to be used in a good way. Remember, she's a former NXT UK champion, so we need to see more of her and we need to treat her like a main event star. And speaking of a woman who needs to be treated like a star, why are we not seeing the glow? Why is Naomi not in action? I know it's a short show. It's a 2-hour show. But if y'all got to make it 3 hours, make it 3 hours. Because we need to see the best of the best. And Naomi was one of the best. She is a 2-time women's champion. And then she got fined because she spoke the truth, basically. Yes, she got in Sonya Deville's face. And Sonya is the assistant SmackDown general manager or co-manager of SmackDown. But Naomi's right. She needs some TV time. Give Naomi some TV time. Not last. Also, give Dominic a win. Please. And please. Every time I see Dominic Mysterio, I get scared. I'm scared that they're going to turn him heel against his father. Please, God, don't let that happen. Please. I am praying and praying. Please do not turn Dominic Mysterio heel. And don't turn him heel against his father. That would be so heartbreaking. breaking. Please, no, please. I'm being a little too silly, but let's get down to serious business because this is the third time that Dominic has lost to Sami Zayn. And I really thought he was going to get this one because he really came out very competitive. But when that stupid roll-up happened, I know we're all sick of roll-ups, but when that darn roll-up happened, I was like, darn, 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 jam. Jam! Jam! Why can't Dominic win? Jam it! Jam it! Jam it! That's a J. I said jam. Jam it. But either way, let's get down to some real business. Last but not least, Bianca Belaire's homecoming with a exciting special appearance from Knoxville's mayor, the devil's favorite demon, the Big Red Machine, Kane. Of course, being a resident and mayor of that city of Knoxville, it was only fair that Kane would show up tonight as Mayor Glenn. And of course, the introduction of Bianca. I got to learn that Tennessee theme song that they tried to sing before Becky Lynch established herself as a heel by interrupting. It was a great show. A great homecoming. She came out. They sung the Tennessee song. I got to learn that. If I ever go to Tennessee someday, I can learn the song. She gets the keys to the city. But then, of course, Becky Lynch comes out and ruins the whole darn thing. It is official. I know some people don't want to accept it. Well, now they do want to accept it. Now it is much easier to accept that Becky Lynch is a heel. And now we can't stand her. Storyline speaking. But either way, Becky Lynch comes out and ruins the party. We're having a great time without her. And of course, Bianca totally owns her on the mic. Bringing back the "you don't go here." I loved when she said that. And I loved when she said it to Charlotte a couple of years back. Actually, that was last year before this whole crisis started. But either way, she comes out, ruins the whole thing, sparks a brawl. I was excited. I thought Bianca was really going to deliver the KOD to Becky Lynch. But I guess I'm asking too much. I mean, come on. You can't hoist somebody and you got on heels. You just can't do it. It would have been great to see, but she buckled. And I think she would not have buckled if she had on boots, flat boots, instead of high-heeled boots. Because I just don't think it's possible. Maybe someday it would have been able to happen, but tonight just wasn't those nights. You can't hoist a 120-pound person over your shoulders while wearing heels. If that is possible, that would be interesting to see. But until then, can't happen. And Bianca goes for her version of a move that she stole from The Rock. Thankfully, Bianca didn't stay down long. And if she can recover quickly like that, then we won't get another squash, because I declare that was the squash of the century, what happened at SummerSlam. And I am very invested in this match for those two at Night of Champions. And that's all the time I got for you today. And I'll be back another time with another review on all things wrestling. And remember, say no to vaping, because as WWE Champion Big E says, that's toxic in your lungs. So, like CM Punk, let's be straight edge, folks. For our lungs' sake. That's a very entertaining but chilling commercial. See you next time, folks.